What is good, my people, my peeps? Good evening. So, I wanted to stop in real quick and give you some news that you can use. Okay, so you know that I talk about the poles shifting and what you should do, what you should look out for, especially in different states that you are in. And so, what I'm going to do tonight, we're going to tap in and I'm going to let you guys ear hustle and on the pole shift alert site so that you can hear what's going on with how you can prepare in your states. It's not just the immigrants we need to worry about out here, but if you've noticed your weather and how it's been affecting your area in different ways, that's because there's a pole shift taking place. That's right. I've talked about this several times. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap into the Pole Shift Alert Center, and so that you can hear how your area is going to be affected. And I'm just so I'm so disappointed in Texas. From what I'm hearing is that Texas will be the new North Pole, but I should have known that because of in 2021 how the whole state of Texas froze over. It's almost like that was a precursor to what is to come. From so what I've been hearing in the Poll Alert Center is that the whole state of Texas is supposed to become the new North Pole. Help me. So I yeah I don't do the cold. Not at all. I am a tropical being. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna have to relocate. I'm gonna have to start looking at the map. But I'm gonna let you guys listen in real quick. I'm gonna come back in on and off and talk to you guys. But just so if you can listen in for your state and what's to come, and how to prepare. I'm not doing this to fearmonger anyone. This is just preparation, not only for, like I said earlier, the migrants and the disruption. This is going to be such a disruption of our our natural order of things that chaos. We're going to see it like no other has ever seen it before. Okay, that's the only thing that I can say or how I can describe it for you. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard that Mount St. Helens has been acting up. And Mount St. Helens, in every movie uh, regarding the end of time, when Mount St. Helens goes, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And guys, guess what? Mount St. Helens is acting like she wants to explode. That's going to affect the whole entire United States, okay? Not just over there. I can't even remember where she's at. But if you know where Mount St. Helens is, I think she's up by Washington. Or if I'm not correct, please correct me. It's gonna, cause that's the big one. That's the big one, y'all. That's gonna have gas. That's going to just okay. Imagine this. You know how sometimes, hello, how you doing? This is just a post shift alert. I like to let you guys stay up on breaking news and news you can use regarding what's going on in this dimension we're in. But Mount St. Helens. Okay, so I was going to give you an example. When, excuse me, there has been volcanoes that have erupted, say in Hawaii, right? And Hawaii is not close to you. It's surely not close to Texas, right? and but when it's a huge explosion, that ash and soot makes it all the way across the ocean. That's right. And across plains and landscapes, all the way over to us. Okay, from Hawaii. Now, Mount St. Helens is going to be the big one, the big one. I mean, just let me see. Have you ever seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow? I always reference that movie because it really is telling you what is going on now. I mean, the movie shows where it was hot, like in Saudi Arabia, Texas. It showed Texas freezing over before Texas froze over, right? It showed us running towards Mexico, trying to get into Mexico, and the Mexican people closed the border on us. It was like a reverse immigration invasion, okay? This was all played out in the movie The Day After Tomorrow. It showed that New York City went underwater and then froze. It was a massive flood in New York City, and then it froze because the kids that were the stars in that movie at the time, they had to, hunker down in the library and then make their way outside to try to get to safety. Oh yeah. So, wow, oh wow, yeah. So what I like to do is, yeah, keep y'all guys up to date. I'm not saying, be scared, but be wise. That's what I want. Yeah, be wise, okay? I'm telling you, I lived through the freeze of 2021. When I tell you, it shocked all of us. This was not. It was abnormal, to say the least. And I can remember, I'm gonna tell you a quick story time. But before I tell this story, I'm gonna go get some water. I'm gonna let you guys listen in to the pole shift alert, and then I'll tell you my story time about the freeze of 2021 here in Texas. So this is the pole shift alert center. Y'all buckle in and hold on tight. This is just an update for you. Urine services in this, they're only taking a short trip. They're going to go up and go around the moon a couple times for 3 days in a shuttle. And they're going to land back in the ocean. Hold on, we have somebody else talking. We'll get back to the pole shift in a minute. They're launching themselves off in the previous shuttles. So when you see a bunch of shuttles going off, pole shift is imminent. Number 2, when you see the moon like this. So this guy right now is telling you how Elon Musk and all of them. Let me turn him down real quick until he starts talking about the pole shift again. So Elon Musk and all these billionaires, trillionaires are trying to get off this planet. I mean, I believe last winter, or I believe it was last winter when they launched that rocket ship. Was it in the winter or coming out of the winter into springtime? Around that time, they had launched another rocket, and it. I mean, it was all on TikTok. I don't know if it made rounds here on YouTube, where it hit the firmament, and you could see like it kind of bounced off, and then it showed a light, and it showed like a bend in the light, and that's when people were talking about, oh, we are encased in some type of firmament and blah blah blah. It was real big news. I don't know if I even did a video regarding that, or even a short, because I was just tickled how people are just really coming to the understanding that we are in a firmament and they're not escaping. So this is what he's talking about right now, how these billionaires and trillionaires are trying to get off this planet. Okay, a lot of them are trying to go underground. Um, and they have some beautiful bunkers underground, but that's just going to become their tombs, right? Underground tombs, because how they can't determine how this is going to play out for them. So they're trying to run. There's nowhere. Who was that song? Nowhere to run to, baby. There's nowhere to run. You're not getting off this planet and trying to go underground because you got all this money. You can dig. You might be there for a hot second, cooling, but soon you be trying to claw yourself out of them underground tunnels. Okay, so let me see if he's talking back about the pole shift. Fly through them and Sodom and Gomorrah hits. This is 6 months after the pole shift. Okay, so I'll be right back, and we're going to have a story time too. Nubaru is what he's trying to say.
So by admitting there's a second planet out there, then it also admitting that there's ETs, so they won't admit either or. But the reality of it is they don't have to, because Greg Martin took care of that. And hey, he took care of it. This guy, I took care of it for you. You guys didn't want it. I told them that for $25 million they could buy me out. They thought I was a clown. They didn't think I was going to go hard. They don't know Big Daddy. I don't do number two.
No, Big Daddy.
I'm number one. I let other people do number none.
A lot of people don't realize that.
So we're dancing and we're singing.
The blue Kachina and the red Kachina have already emerged. These are planets, and most people know them as the blue Kachina and the red Kachina. And the red Kachina is also known as Nubaru. Okay. So hold on, I'll wait till they start talking about the alert again. This guy's he's talking about everything else other than the alert. So, okay, so I want to tell you guys about how when Texas froze over, how it was a shock to the system. And there was a lot of Northerners that were joking that, oh, the Texans, they just not used to, they just not used to snow. And, this was something otherworldly, it seemed like. Okay, let me say it like that, because you have to realize that every state, all building ordinance are different based on where you live. And so our homes are, do you guys remember the story of the Three Little Pigs? When how does it go? That's an old nursery tale. But there was a wolf, and the wolf came in. Just imagine that the wolf is the storm that came through Texas, and he came to the house of straw. Okay, and he said, I'm a huff and I'm a puff and I'm a blow your house in. And that's what he did to Texas. Texas homes were not built for that caliber of weather. Okay, so you had people's roofs collapsing from the weight of the snow, because our building requirements are different. Our building requirements are made to let out heat, not to hold heat, not to have heavy, roofing and tiles and things like that, to make the heat circulate out so that your home won't be a total oven. Okay, because Texas can get up there in the heat. So a lot of lives were lost in the freeze of 2021. Pipes burst instantly, and as they burst, this is how cold it was. It was, like I referred to earlier, the movie of the day the Day After Tomorrow, where it showed a scene where and I might pull that movie up so that y'all can get a good idea of exactly what I'm talking about. It showed a scene where it was instant. They froze instantly. This is what's happening with the pole shifts. That's why you're seeing this crazy weather, and they're not showing it on national news. So if you're like, I haven't seen any wacky weather. That's because you're stuck in the matrix. You're stuck on the main media, and they're not going to tell you nothing, because it's all propaganda. They want you to stay asleep. Okay? And that's why they wanted to take TikTok down. They didn't want to take TikTok down because people were shaking their little rumpty dumps. No. They wanted to take TikTok down because you were getting too much information. The people were talking, okay? The people were sharing real news, real time. And they couldn't handle them not controlling the narrative of what they wanted you to know. And we know now that this is an illusion. It is a game, and the time is up. There is a pole shift happening, and that is why they are allowing the immigrants to come in. Look, it's so much that I have explained here on my platform, in videos. I mean, I know I have a gumbo of information here on this platform, because that's just how I am. I love knowledge, and I love taking in information, and I love sharing it with you all. Not for you to be scared, not for you to be in fear. I just know that before the freeze happened here in Texas, I had been watching just different news, news from YouTube, news from TikTok, and I kept seeing different things. I'm very much a pattern person. I pick up on patterns, and I pick up on, um, for you younger folks, trends and things like that. But more so patterns, puzzle pieces, if you will. And so at that time, and I think I still have a video regarding it, and I'm kind of silly too. That's part of my personality. I do like to make things funny, because if you make things funny or as if it's a joke, then the man won't pick up on it. But hopefully the wise will. Do you feel me? Holla back. Hopefully the wise will. So at that time, I had noticed that in Texas, no, in Mexico, like right by the border, the power, they were having a lot of power issues, right? And so I said, oh, that's interesting. And then I started hearing throughout Texas a lot of power outages were happening, a lot of power issues were happening. And I was like, that is so odd. Okay. And it's almost like a nesting. And if you don't understand what nesting is, for a woman who is pregnant, right before she gets ready to have her baby, she'll it's, well, old school folks call it the nesting stage, right? She'll start cleaning the house. um she probably already have the area for where the baby's gonna sleep and whatnot, but she'll go in and she'll start cleaning that again. She'll start checking her bags if she's ready for the hospital, and just, it's almost like being on autopilot. Okay. And the old school folks called that nesting. She's getting ready for her baby to come. And so it was almost that kind of sensation for me when I had noticed these power plants were failing. Okay. And so I would get these, like, I would get water bottles, right? And the big, I think the ones with the handle, like the tall ones. What is that? Like a half a gallon or a gallon and a half. And I would drink the water, but I wouldn't throw the water bottles away. Okay, I would fill the water bottles with regular bath water. Put in the bathtub and fill these bottles up, and I would put them underneath the bathroom sink. Right. This was right before the freeze. So I had, and I still have these. I still have bottles. I rotate them out because plastic. You know about plastic or whatever. But these bottles, in my mind, um, I was going to use them for boiling water, bathing water, toilet water, things of this nature. I did not know the freeze was coming, y'all. Okay, so I'm filling this all these water bottles up, and I'm putting them under the sinks in my bathroom and in my master bathroom. And so my mother comes over one day. This is when um, I had first moved over here. Matter of fact, and and she sees these bottles. She sees these bottles laying around, empty, right? And she was like, "What? Why do you have these water bottles?" And I was like, "Oh." And this is how I've been, and that's why I'm kind of sad. My dad passed away because me and him were more on like a intellectual type of wave where we could have this intellectual conversation. I can bounce ideas off of him. Yeah, and it's not no slight to my mom, but we just, I could like get her there with on this thought process I was having. And so I told her, I said, well, something is gonna happen, right? I said something is
going to happen. And then I told her about Mexico, and I told her about the different power outages in Texas. But I could see the patterns when I told her about the patterns and what I seen and why I felt that I needed to fill these water bottles up. Um, uh, she was like, just gave me a look like, okay, like, sure. And so, you feel some kind of way, but I kept filling the water bottles up. Matter of fact, I filled all the ones that I had up, guys. And I had these big tubs, pink, those like big tubs you can use when you're moving. You can pack stuff in, and like Rubbermaid tubs, and it has the lids, right? So I had those. I have some of those, and I filled those with water too. And so it had been like sleeting and different things like that, but nothing major, right? And then out the clear blue sky. And not only that, and I'm telling you guys these things that I did. Hopefully you will have some of these things in your home, to be prepared for anything, not just because you won't. Let me tell you, it came so fast. It came so fast. You will not be able to leave your homes when something comes upon you that fast, such as a weather phenomenon. Um, I had, I like coffee, but I don't like coffee that I really make at home, right? um, but I had got coffee grounds, and I had learned different because I like watching like survival shows or YouTube, with people surviving in the wilderness or surviving in urban situations. And I recalled I had watched a show long, long, long time ago, way before this incident ever happened here in Texas with the freeze. And I had got some small balls, like little children's squeeze balls, like they can throw on the wall, bounce, but small enough for my hands, right? Little round balls. And I had garbage bags, and I had coffee grounds, and I had them stored away. And so this freeze, we were starting to get, because the weather started picking up so rapidly, rapidos, rapidos, rapidos. And I called my mom. I said, Mom, I said, the weather is getting bad. I said, um, certain parts of Texas, their power is shutting down. I said, because my mom lives in the country. They have a home in the country, but um, I wouldn't be able to get to her if the weather got real bad, because I just have a little car. It ain't, I ain't coming over. No, it, you know, it's just not gonna happen. And I didn't want her to be driving if the weather got too bad. And so um, the weather just kept escalating. I mean, it probably was within the 2 days. Okay, within 2 days, because I kept calling her, and because my mom has foster children too. At the time, she had two of my foster brothers. And so, and mind you, my dad had recently passed away too. And so that's why I was being a bugaboo. So I kept calling. And older folks they're so freaking stubborn sometimes. And so she was like, "No, it's okay. They old folks always got some food. Not me. I'm open. I don't got food stashed like that. But I do have some stuff, but I wasn't prepared for what happened. And so, as far as the food pantry goes, um, it I went to sleep. No, I was laying in the bed, and the lights started flickering, and it went zoop. You know how lights go, zoop, 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 zoop. And it went out, and I sat up, and the alarm for the house where I'm staying was going off. And I was like, how do I unplug this thing? Because it was going off, and then the lights came back on. And so I was like, okay. And I looked outside, guys, and there was snow everywhere. And so I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I said, look, what's going on over there? And she was like, well, it is the power did go off, um, but I got the fire. Come on, so I got the fireplace, and we should be good. I'm like, Mom, I said, if I come, I'm most likely we probably will have to walk back if I have to come get you. And she said, no, just joking, just blowing me off. No, it's not gonna be that bad, Nicole. Just we'll see. Well, let's see what happens in the morning time. And so I'm like, okay. And then I was like, I went to sleep. Well, tried to go to sleep, if you can imagine that night. Um, my power had came back on, but it was still cold in the house. In my where I was at, I had piled on blankets. Okay, guys, the heat was on, and I could not sleep. And so I got up, and when I got up, my phone rang. If I can remember it right, I don't know if I called her or she called me. She said, Nicole, she said, me and the boys, we're on the way over there. It is so cold in this house. We I said, do you have blankets? And she said, I had already packed the truck, earlier that day, and a little bit before the day before, with blankets and some food and things like that. I said, okay. I said, take your time, because guys, this is snow like we had never seen here in Texas. And I said, um, when you get in the car, just talk to me the whole way, because if I have to come, y'all, I was thinking about trying to literally finding. Have you ever seen those movies like snowshoes that look like tennis rackets? That's how the snow was. Like, I was gonna need something so I wouldn't sink down into the snow. Um, so she made it. She made it to my house. She, drove real slow, guys. It was nothing but the grace of y'all. I don't care what no one says. If you go research the freeze of Texas 2021, you will understand. If you go look at videos, 'cause I'm sure videos are up still of how it devastated Texas. She got to my home just in time. When I tell you, all the blankets that she brought, they used all of them. Um, we had just enough food here, but I have an emergency buckets, those buckets like you might see in the army. They call them what do they call MREs. They call them MREs, freeze dried foods. Um, but I had bought a bucket of food from, I think I had got it from Walmart. Matter of fact, I need to rotate it out because I think it lasts for 5 years. And we were snowed in for 2 days. 2 days. People literally died here in Texas, throughout the whole state of Texas, because of the heat. I mean, because it's my bad, because of the cold, because half of Texas power went out. We had we had power here, but it's still, the cold was so frigid that it still seeped through the house. That's why we had to pile on blankets and extra clothing. If I gotta tell you, oh, then my mom was calling, like my cousins live in other parts of Texas, right? And so I got my mom. Then when they got here to my house, I had them set up, where they were gonna sleep and everything like that. And I told my mom, um, oh, because my lights were on, but guess what went out? my water, because like I said, a lot of pipes burst on the scene from the freeze, right? And so my mom looked at me and kind of laughed, and she said, you knew something, didn't you? You knew something. I said, yes. And we had water. We had water. This water was not to, I had water like bottled water to drink and all of that. But the water that I had put in buckets and I had put in these containers, this water was for us to wash with. Okay. And to wash, just to keep going. Okay. And so I recall my mom talking to my cousin, and she was like, "This girl Nicole, she had buckets of water already, and tubs of water already here, and we in the toilets." I said, "Mom," I said, um, because people don't think like this about where you're gonna eliminate at. Okay, and I guess from growing up in a military home, um, we learned things like that, and being in Pathfinders, most of you guys will know it to be equal to the brownies or the Boy Scouts. I was in all kind of stuff like that, so I learned different, survival skills, and waste is something you keep separate. You know how uh, if you're being messy and you want to sleep with somebody at your job, they say you don't where you eat, right? So you don't mess up your money. Okay, so basically those trash bags and the balls I had, she said, what are these for in the bathroom? I said, Mom, the ball is to plug up the hole in the bottom of the toilet. Take notes, my people, my peeps. Always have these items. Okay, you can find these little balls at the Dollar General or Dollar Tree. Plug up the hole in the bottom of the toilet. Place a brown, what are they look, black plastic bag within the toilet and line the toilet, and then put the seat back down. Pour coffee ground or cat litter. Preference, it, I would prefer cat litter. The cat litter with the scent pellets, if you have that. But at the time, I just thought of coffee grounds because coffee grounds are strong as well, and they retain odor. Okay. Um, and I said, Mom, if you and the boys have to go number two, this is what I need you to do. I need you to keep that the ball in there so nothing will come up or water will shoot up on you. And then, what I just told you guys, place the bag inside and put the toilet seat on top and eliminate. Um, First, put coffee grounds in the bag, and then when you're done, put coffee grounds on top of the waste, and then take the bag and we're going to put it outside, and that's how we're going to stay sanitary in here while we wait out the storm. And she's looking at me like, what? And I was like, yes, the water is out, the pipes have burst. And she was like, oh, okay, Nicole, okay. And I remember I was in my room because I had her. She was in the extra room, and the boys were in the living room. And I recall her talking. She had called my cousin, and that's when she was like, "This, this girl Nicole." You know how parents call you, Phil. You're still a child when you damn near over the hill, right? And she was like, she had coffee grounds. And we have a place to go to the bathroom because we can't go outside. She was just telling my cousin. She said, "I don't know where she got that from. Where did she get that from?" And she was telling her. I came over her house and I asked her why she was filling water bottles with water, and now we need this water because the water the pipes have burst. And I just was laying in the bed listening to her talk to my cousin on the phone. Just, I don't know, I guess with a smile too on my face. Like, I I've always had like an instinct or something. You know, um, and it's here again, guys. Um, I don't I don't like to come on lives, and like I said, I don't want to alarm anyone or anything like that. But there are changes happening. So let me see if the alert, um, the post shift alert, if he's talking about the areas again, and let you listen in. So hold on.
Start those Burberry shoes on fire with whatever you can find, because you're not going to have anything, because you don't even have matches. Woman, how can you not have matches? Wouldn't you want like a little wood stove, like the cool one I got over here in my showcase shop? $150. You stick a pipe out the window. If the power goes out, at least you can save your butt. You'll have some boots and you'll have some camo stuff if you got to go out there with a bunch of lunatics looking for food. You'll have some and you'll be prepared. And at least you'll know that, hey, the guy was right. And there's nothing wrong with being prepared for something, whether it happens or not. If that indeed is the goal, you don't have to buy it from me, buy it from anybody, but get prepared.
I'll go back to him in a minute because I just want to top off that story time with after that after that not the post shift, after the freeze of 2021 here in Texas. That was a Trump. Although we were safe, although I had made provisions, and we made it through with us being able to use the bathroom. We made it through with us being able to function and eat, and I still was prepared to where I would heat this home because I've learned different techniques on heating within a facility without causing carbon monoxide and things of that nature. And but after the storm had passed, that did give I think all of Texas was traumatized. All of the Texans were traumatized in a way, and I believe anyone, even the Northerners, would have been traumatized had they been here in the freeze of 2021 because this weather was unlike no other. Okay? And I even went out and started buying um, different items that just in case anything like that ever happened again, like a sleeping bag, um, but not just a regular sleeping bag, a sleeping bag that is made for cold temperatures, and oil lamps and things of that nature. For the power to go out, like oil lamps that you might have seen on Little House on the Prairie, or uh, but they look stylish, but in my mind, they are flexible. Do you understand? Because I realize that weather, although you might be inside and you might have partial amenities, such as the heat might be on still, but you're out of the water, or you might have the water, but you're out of the heat. Although you might have partial amenities, still the weather is lethal. Okay, my people, my peeps, the weather can take you out, but not only the weather, it is how you conduct yourself and know how to maneuver during those times. Okay, so let me see if he's back on track.
It's huge. We're in big trouble.
So we're talking about the
I
pole
can
shift
prepare.
that is getting
Get
that's
ready for
happening.
the war. Get ready to be Sarah Connor.
Sarah
Get
Connor.
ready to be that cool little dude on T2. Wait, that's me. I'm sorry. I'm that kid. John Connor. Yeah, that's me. Now you're talking. I'm Neil, baby. Turtle Rain Dance, that is a great product, sir. I would take that stuff if I was you, and I would use it on your turtle, dog.
Okay.
Hawaii, be safe. Yes, you are going to be moo. You are going to be coming up out of the water. You're going to be much bigger. Portland, Oregon, 3 Mile High wave. Run inside. Go inland. Here's what I can tell you. The oarfish, 20 oarfish washed up. feet in one fell swoop. You're going to go 30 feet. If you're in a skyscraper, picture this. The bottom goes 30 feet. They Zeta talk. People that aren't always happy with me, they think I ripped them off. I've never ripped off none from you guys. I don't read your stuff. I've read a couple of your guys' articles because I find it very hard to follow all the conspiracies that you guys really get involved in. I only do pole shifts. I mean, I don't really get involved in anything else. The things that I have found out are fact, based upon verification, based upon leakers. I have CIA leakers that have given me info that worked at NASA. Do you got guys that contacted you that told you what? No, you didn't, did you? That's why I bullshit alert 6 of them. Houston, Texas. Let me ask you a question, Houston. Houston, we have a problem. You are going to be the new North Pole. Hey, I like that you're laughing. You should leave. I don't like people like you. You're not a nice person, you know what? Go away. Hey, see, those shoes of yours, they were made for walking, and that's just what they should do, and you should just walk right on over out there. Hit the road. Go check out some petunias. Okay, so Area 51. Area 51 is, I wouldn't go to Area 51. You couldn't get me to go there. It's a terrible place. They're doing terrible things. 144,000. One of those is Keanu Reeves. I met Keanu Reeves. He is one of the 144,000. Indeed, he is. Wonderful
Where's
guy.
the guy that was talking
Arkansas,
before?
you're good. Houston, you're going underwater. You're going under ice. Bullshits happen through history. It has nothing to do with history, fool. It's a planet that's going to cause it. Go away. East Coast is going to get rocked. When will it happen? Within the next 1 year. Be prepared. Big Bear, California, where Jeremy Rennie lives, you're good. 144,000 people that were sent here to guide you. I'm one of them.
I think I talked too much. This guy is somebody talking, a new guy. I want the other one back, guys. So he's telling you the states. Let's see if he'll get back on track. People are asking about what's going to happen to their states.
If you guys see a bunch of space shuttles launching off, you know that they're taking off in those 300-seat space shuttles. Get ready. New Orleans is the city of the red sun. You will be 2.5 miles below the ocean surface at the end of this event. The center of Mississippi, I would run like hell away from the Mississippi River. Yucca Valley, I would go towards high ground. You'll be fine. Chicago, you're good. Save your ammo. Stop shooting each other. You're going to need to help each other. You guys should befriend each other right now. Australia, your biggest enemy is your government. Central Florida, am I Noah? No, I am not Noah, but I know why he got on the boat alone now. I do. I get it now. Some of you people are hopeless. You can't even figure. You guys think cow farts could stop the Earth's core from rotating? How? Please. Okay. The article's right on Bullshit Alert that Earth's core has slowed and is rotating the opposite direction, like I told everybody it was going to do 4 years ago.
And that
Please tell
is
me how
true.
a cow fart stopped the Earth's
The
core.
government wants to let y'all believe that cows that are passing gas is affecting your atmosphere. When I was younger, they called it El Nino. Guys, the core of the earth is rotating and it's going to cause a pole shift, meaning the poles will reverse and they will not be as you knew them before. Your south pole will be on the opposite side and your north pole will be on the opposite side. So where it was hot before, it will be cold. Where it was cold before, it will be hot. I did not want to believe because I really don't want to leave, I guess, Texas. But if push came to shove, I would. Um, but I know for a fact that it can happen. For a fact, I tell you, not from just somebody saying it might happen. I know for a fact that it can happen simply because of the freeze of 2021. So, what are you saying? So, I wanted to bring you this alert. I talked a little too long, and so he was giving different cities what would happen with different cities. I have a map. If I find it, I will post it in the community section. And this map just shows you the areas of what would happen once the pole shift occurs, and what areas will be underwater, where what areas will be habitable, and things of that nature. So, I wanted to stop in really quick tonight to let you guys know that the pole shifts. Is happening. It has been occurring. It's ongoing, and also that Mount St. Helen is starting to act up. That was a doozy. So I might really have to go invest in me in a gas mask, because that will affect the whole of the United States, okay, with ash and soot. I think I said I was before I get out of here to give you guys an example. Hold on, let me see. With the movie The Day After Tomorrow, so that you guys can understand that the weather phenomenons that you may be seeing occur. I want to. Hello, hello, Selena. I want to show you guys that. So I'm going to try to pull up some clips from that movie. Hello, how are you doing? Okay, let me see. I'll go to get out of this guy's live real quick. I talked too long. He just went off on a tangent. So this is what I want you guys to understand about the weather phenomenons that are taking place. And I don't want you guys to be taken off guard, because I know that we talk about the immigrants, and what is going to happen. Chaos will ensue. Well, we have to realize that the weather is going to cause chaos as well. The movie The Day After Tomorrow, when Texas froze over, this is really predictive programming at its finest. Okay, let's see if I can get. I want to get certain scenes so that y'all can see. Doo-doo-doo. Let me see. Hold on. New day after tomorrow. Just so y'all can be prepared for anything. Even if you have, even if you just have the knowledge of survival, right? When Texas froze over. Okay. So let's just start with the weather phenomenons that they showed. Let me see. Turn this up. And New York froze. Let's see if I can get some. Do I have something over? Hold on, guys. You know what? I don't even know if this is showing. Okay, here we go. So this scene is showing you New York. I wanted to show Texas. They predicted it in Texas, but this is what happened in New York City. First, it flooded, then it froze, instant freezing. Okay, hold on, let me replay that. Okay. Accident? I'm afraid not. We've located 2 other supercells in addition to the one over Scotland. There's one over northern Canada and another one over Siberia. And do we know their projected path? Yes. Oh, it's very real. Yes, indeed. 6 to 8 weeks weren't even close. This one storm is going to change the face of our planet. Here's a projection of 24 hours out. This is 48 hours out. This one, yeah, you remember this was a good movie, for real. Y'all go and pull it up. I don't know, you probably can find it on Amazon. We'll be in a new ice age. Just pull it up and watch it. This is a good movie. It's telling you what's coming. My God. People gonna be saying, my God. My God. I've never seen a storm like this. But the storm came so quick and the atmosphere changed so rapidly. Rapidos, you hear me? That freezing weather just instantly, you'll freeze in place from what they're showing on the movie. So let me see if I can, y'all hold tight. Let me see if I can find. So that was what was happening in New York. Let me see. I think they just like to show that particular scene. Let me see if I can find another scene from this particular movie. Let's see, the tsunamis. I don't know if this will. I don't know if this will show the tsunamis. Hold on, let's see.
I haven't got back from my degree sooner just because, like, I was hesitant. I was worried about being a perfect.
They're flying into the eye of the storm. Could you imagine? Whew. The instruments froze on these spots. That's how quick the weather changed. Right? I'm not gonna show all, you know how, fair use. But I wanted to show you guys those scenes, and I wanted to show you some other scenes, but I couldn't find them. They only show, I guess, the ones they felt were the best. But I wanted to actually show the one about Texas, because I found it kind of funny when Texas, in the movie, when they showed Texas freezing over and people tried to run for the border to Mexico. That's where I might move to while I'm talking, since they showed it in the movie. Mexico was cool. People tried to run to the border to Mexico, and the Mexican border people were like, no, we're not letting nobody else in. And I remember being in the movie theater when that scene came on, when they said, we're not letting anybody else in. And we started laughing and clapping, because that is like, It's what's good for the goose is good for the gander, honey. You got what you was doing to other people, right? Talking about we not letting nobody in. So the Mexicans was like, we not letting nobody in, and all Americans was trying to run for the border. Dang, that was. Oh, I wonder if I can find that scene. I don't even know how to. This is just information on Day After Tomorrow, The Crossing. Oh, I think I found it. Let's see. It was so funny in that movie theater, and people they knew America been dirty to folks. We've been doing folks wrong, and we've been getting done wrong up in here too. You know what I'm saying? The border crossing in The Day After Tomorrow was so funny because it was vice versa, right? So let's check out this scene right here. I think I found it. So wow. We gotta get to the commercial.
It's a box, Dad. Boxes don't fly. But this one can.
Okay.
The U.S.-Mexico border. Just half an hour ago, Mexican officials closed the border in the light of so many U.S. refugees who are fleeing south in the wake of the approaching storm. These people came here in anticipation of crossing into Mexico. Instead, they've been met with closed gates.
And now, in a dramatic reversal of illegal immigration, thousands of people are crossing the Rio Grande into Mexico. The scene that's unfolding here behind me is one of desperation and frustration. People have abandoned their cars, grabbed their belongings, and they are wading across the river illegally into Mexico.
So people, that might be telling you something why they have allowed all the immigrants to flood into America, and especially by Texas, because they know, hold on, let me turn this off. They know what's getting ready to come. If you could see, I don't know if you guys were able to see that it was snowing because Texas had froze over. And when did that movie come out? 2004, okay? And Texas froze over in 2021. So they're telling you Texas is going to freeze over. And we want all of you guys to um, come on over to Texas. Yeah, we've opened. Come on over to the United States because they know a lot of devastation is getting ready to happen in the United States, guys. And a lot of rich folk are moving to Mexico. Yeah, the smart ones, and that's yeah. I might have to make me some plans. I might have to make me some plans. The most talking to a sister right now. Yes, indeed. I like some of my Spanish brothers and sisters. I might need to go visit my folks down in Mexico. Yes, indeed. Mexico gonna be smooth, okay. But Texas, I lived through the freeze of 2021, and that was not a regular freeze. It seemed like it was half man-made weather and the Most High. And if it was the man-made weather, let me tell you something. That stuff was so frigid. It just cold like that should not exist. You heard me? Cold like that should not exist. I tell you, well, I don't know if I heard this before or I've said it before, but I think I might have heard it that hell should be cold. Because cold is, fire seems like it'll burn and burn you up, and that's it. But the cold is just like it's a piercing, like needles. And have you ever played outside as a kid and got frostbite on your fingers? That stuff takes so long to stop hurting and pricking and prodding on you. Mercy, have mercy, have mercy. The cold that we felt here in 2021 was like no other, and I'm still kind of traumatized from it. No, I'm telling you guys, these movies, they are telling us something, okay? Yeah, it sure did. 2021, Texas, the whole state of Texas. Texas is the largest state in the United States, my people by peep. Can you imagine that? Can you wrap your head around the whole state froze and it was temperatures below freezing? Below freezing here in Texas. The pole shifts are happening. And if I would have stopped running my mouth, we probably could have heard more states from the Pole Alert guy that he does a podcast on the pole alerts, but he was going off on tangents and stuff. So, but um, I thought some of Texas might go cold again, but when he said it was Texas, certain parts of Texas, I was like, I don't want to be near it. I don't. Yeah, I'm heading towards Mexico. I need to learn some more Spanish. Let me start practicing, polish up on my Spanish because here I come. That's why, if guys, if you're paying attention, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I did notice that some of the um, native Mexicans in Mexico were getting upset because a lot of rich um, white folks was coming down there and they were buying up, the properties and everything down there, but they were starting to like switch up, wanting them to switch up their culture, like saying they would go to restaurants and order food and be like, this is too spicy, make it less spicy. This is how it should be, like demanding them to change their culture and how they prepare their food. And I was like, I know you lying. Know you lie, y'all. And so literally, the Mexicans were getting mad. I don't know if you guys heard about that. I might have to do a broadcast on that. They were getting mad, like, no, they need to go. Get them out of our country. Have y'all heard of that? So they know something. And even, let me tell you something. It's something about Mexico too, because even our governor, who was it at the time? Well, was it Abbott still? Abbott and who was that other guy's name? Man, they booked camp. They guess where they went to? Guess what they went to when Texas froze over? Anybody? Does anybody have an idea where they went to? Left us here in the cold while they flew out. Where'd they go? Mexicali, Mexico. I don't know if it was Mexicali, Mexico, but they sure went to Mexico. So it's something to be said about that doggone Mexico. I'm gonna have to look into it. There's a reason why I don't want to unbox these boxes. I had never settled into this place. It elevated me out of the muck and mire of the darkness I was in, coming into the awareness. But have you ever been somewhere where you never settled in? I never settled into this apartment, or well, not even an apartment, where I'm at now. Probably because this is not where I'm to be. This is not where I'm to stay. I gotta keep moving on, and that's probably what was gonna happen. And I'm gonna have to look into Mexicali, Mexico, or Mexico. Period, baby. Not that I'm running to be scared, but um, I like I said, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep this body going till the body gives out on me. I ain't gonna sit around and just let floods and heat and or cold weather come and sit there and suffer. Have you lost your ever loving mind? No, that is not your purpose here. Your purpose is to make it through this game system, because that's what it is. You running from the Pac-Man ghost, okay? Um, you trying to make it through until it's over. It's no more. It's nothing left on the board. The body has given out. You know what I'm saying? No more cells are being generated. No more lives, because Pac-Man always what do you have, like 3 lives? I can't remember. That was the only game I liked to play when I was back in the 80s, was Pac-Man. Because I'm not a gamer at all. But yeah. So our lives is, you go to sleep every night, and that's generate new cells. You get new cells generated. Um, I mean, they're not as strong. They're not as strong as when you first came through. First came through that portal of your mama's womb. But you still generate new cells. That's new life every day. You wake up, you get new breath in your lungs, and you out here making it do what it do. But while you out here making it do what it do, know what's around you. Know Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? Okay, I always know what time it is and I always know how to move. Do you need to pivot to the left, pivot to the right, go straight down the middle? How do you need to move out here in these streets? And if you're moving, baby girl, baby boy, let me tell you something. If you got to make moves out here in these streets, um, have some knowledge behind you. You know what I'm saying? On survival, I'm not saying go get all the survival books and just try to cram all of this. Is too late for all that. you you hurt your head trying to learn all the herbs, all the, but just learn some basic have some basic understanding of survival out in the wilderness or in your own domain, because you might have to hunker down, you know what I'm saying, until you can make that move. Okay, um pray about it first. Yeah, I am, because I think I would like Mexico. Like, every time I when I say it and close my eyes, I keep seeing like a beach and umbrellas. A beach and umbrellas and like a hotel or something. I'm gonna pray about it though. I'm gonna pray about it. But yeah, I think it's time to make a move wherever I need to make a move to. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to travel. I've always liked to travel anyway. Um, so not like, I know everybody can't just get up and move. It's not an easy decision. But for me, for I don't know, not to have taken stuff out of these boxes, I feel that yeah, this ain't the lick. I mean, it's a nice. I would not put down what I have, right? Be grateful for what you got, right? But I'm just saying, it's been 3 years. Why haven't I unboxed the stuff to put into these cabinets? And it's just, the cabinets are like show pieces, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would just show off, because when I was in Germany, bought little china pieces or little crystal. I am just not, and I know this is part of my growth, because they don't even excite me anymore. I mean, I put it up if I wanted to put it up just so it could be pretty, but I don't know if it's because I know this is that I'm about to move again, or do something different. I don't know. But 3 years and these boxes are still sitting here. It's a problem. As a problem. It's so funny. Y'all know. Well, I'll just skip on that story, but yeah, I need to do something about that. If I'm gonna go to Mexicali, Mexico, and I think my battery wants to act stupid. Um, I think it's the cost of living is much cheaper in Mexico too. So that would be a plus. You know, it's just that I would want to sharpen up on my Spanish, because living in a foreign country, you want to have just some. I mean, I know a little bit of mixed Spanish, but nah, baby, I won't be fluent. Fluent, okay. That might be a place. Think about, where would you want to move to if you had to move to high ground, per se, if the earth started to shake or the cold crept your way, right? What would you do? What is your plan for your family? Because some of you guys have big families, 3 and 4, 5 kids, husband and a wife. It's just me, solo dolo. I got my bug out bag ready, baby, already. I've been having a bug out bag, Um, I got to hit the road. I'm deuces. Do so it's easy for me to get up and just move, but when something that magnitude happens, um, goodness, I just feel for people with huge families, especially when they have young children. Um, what do you do? I know what I would do if I was if I still had a huge family. My son is grown, okay, but all my children would already know about their bug out bags, where to get their bug out bags. They would already know. Okay, I would have already been teaching them. They would. This ain't no game. This ain't no game. They would know a secondary route to whomever family member. Because if something happened to, uh, if I was, this is just for instance, if I had a family, if something would have happened to me or their father, they would know. I would have prepared my children 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And if you get to the second spot and they gone, they wiped off the map, go to spot 3. And if you go to spot 3 and they wiped off the map, then you are now have crossed over to your manhood. Hallelujah. That's what I would tell my son, my daughter, and you have now crossed over into your womanhood. It is time that you make real life decisions. You have your weapons. You know how to use your weapons. Only use your weapons as needed, not as play. I would have my children on point. Do you hear me? I don't care if they was 3 years old. My kids would be on point. Okay? Because that is how this is going to happen for life. You ain't going to be able to be, come on, Johnny boy, come run faster, come run. We're all family and we're escaping the tragedy together. No, mama might get knocked out, taken smooth out the game. Dad might get taken smooth out the game. You got a 9-year-old, got to make moves now. You feel me? If y'all ain't telling y'all children, more than just come home, honey, do your homework, be a good boy, clean up your room, your snacks is on the counter, I love you, I'll be home soon. You're still in the matrix. You better teach these children, if the grid go down, this is what's up. And if I'm out the game and you don't went to house 1, 2, and 3, the locations I told you to go to, and then them folks ain't there, this is what you do. This is what you do. And I will always love you. But you are a man now. You are a woman now. You have to make decisions. My homeschool, shoot, my homeschool would be a whole hell of a lot different. I mean, they get their 1, 2, 3s, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, but I'm trying to tell you, mine will be more survival skills. Survival of the fittest, baby. Make their little behinds be running up and down the street. PT. Go. Run. Jump. Roll. He's like, I hate my mom. Roll again. Roll 10 more times. Jump 10 more times for saying that. And they love me in the end because they be the last standing. Okay? They be the true survivors. So guys, I hope that lightened everything. Because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. For you all. You're probably in a transitional season. I think I am, because I don't know why I can't bring myself to unpack these doggone boxes. I can't. Um, Maybe opportunities will come about where you will move to another career opportunity. Um, I don't even career. Man, if I gotta tell you, I thought that was the lick. I'm just working to work now. I mean, I could careers. I don't know, guys. The system is just I was walking in the I went to the grocery store today. Well, I mean, like any one of you guys. But I'm just walking through the doggone grocery store, and I'm like, I feel for the younger generation because all of this food is fake. The majority of it is plastic or have plastic byproducts in it. Um, it's not just like I had talked to you guys about when I was, acting up this week. Y'all know I was clowning this week, couple of days. But my little beef, I guess I had, or my I have to make things right. But videos. But I was telling you guys, being out here grinding and being in the real world, um, there is it's so different now. Even knowing that this is just a matrix, this is just a simulation of us going through getting this experience. But my experience from the 70s and the 80s, I cherish those experiences. Interacting with people, laughing. I mean, the 80s, going to arcades. The mall was the lick. Y'all thought the mall was the lick in the 90s. The malls had just came out in like basically the 80s. So, and the arcades, and it felt like life. It felt like being alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to explain, I guess, if you're still kind of asleep and you haven't woke up to realize that this is just, whoa, it's not what you think it is. But I just seem like when I reminisce and think back on it, going to the movie theater, these were things that we enjoyed doing as teens and groups of teens, um, going out, meeting up at the movie theaters, and just laughing and having fun. And the kids today are just so different. I guess my mom would call them, they're grown. They just so grown. They fast, or something like that. And we can't. That's another thing I would like to talk about on another day. That word, fast, but they just. It's so different. It's not like, I don't even know if children are enjoying being children and life. I hear, I share alerts of children. These children are not at home because they're leaving the home because they're meeting grown ass men on the internet, luring them out of their homes. And they think they're so grown, 12 years old, being lured out. Now they're missing. You know? What it's just it's so different than giggling and with a group of girls at a group of guys. That innocence to me has been lost. It has been lost. And the young girls want to look like grown women, and these grown men have no boundaries. They, if I can remember when I look, I look. My mom made sure I looked my age. Do you hear me? It was not makeup. Oh my gosh, I snuck to put eyeliner on, and that was dumb because eyeliner is the hardest thing to get off. Um, I would get the beats down. Okay. Um, yeah, I look my age, and at that time, my mom had to, snap Negroes' heads off for looking, and I look like a little child. Okay, just imagine these 12 and 13-year-olds, because of the byproducts, um, along with puberty, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So and then wanting to dress like Carly B and you know all of these over sexualized artists. Hmm. What there is no, that innocence of childhood is so lost and it's sad. It really is, because a child should be able to be a child and enjoy discovery of outside. My gosh, I don't know what they'll reminisce back to. Sitting in a room playing a video game. That seems like just jail. You could be locked down, right? Very lost. You know, um, when I reminisce back on my childhood growing up, I remember outside. I remember going to when we would stay at my aunt's house. We would go down, and there was like a pond through the woods, and we go catch um, crawfish. We would take bologna and catch crawfish or um, tadpoles, and run in the woods and jump. And I just, it was stories. We had stories to tell, playing sword fights and running from bees, because we done been hard-headed, playing sword fights, and we done said, oh, look, there's a beehive. But I think it was, now that I think of it, I think it was a hornet's nest. And like, oh, let's get the hornet's nest. And we knocked down that dang old hornet's nest, and we was running for our lives. you know, these kids, where they, if they did that, they did it on a video game. They weren't running for their lives, and made it somewhere safe. when, when you made it somewhere safe with someone that you'd have knocked down the hornet's nest with, and you sit down and you're breathing and sweat is running down your face and your eyes are wide because adrenaline is pumping and you look scared in the eyes, and you just start laughing because you beat the hornets. They didn't come. They gave up on you. While other friends are still running and hollering and screaming because the hornets are still following them. That is stuff that the kids are missing out on. I know they might. You like, why would you want to get chased by hornets? Because it's memories. It's doggone real life memories. Well, what we know as real life, right? What can you tell your what can what are they called? Gen X? No, I'm Gen X. What are they called? Gen Z? Um, what are they gonna tell their children? Yeah, boy, those were the days. I sat there and I played Fortnite till the morning came into the night came. Man, my mom and dad were so upset with me. I was so tired. I didn't want to go to school the next day because I'm up playing Fortnite. What? Yes, Gen Z is you. We are the last ones who lived life to the fullest. The Gen Z. We are feral. We are wild. We are the ones who drink out of the water fountain, the water hose, right? Like I think I heard that on TikTok. We are the ones who drank out of the water hose and survived. We are the ones who they had to make commercials about. Do you know where your children are? Because the parents let us just play. But most parents said, bring your tail in the house when them street lights come on. We are those. We are Gen Z. These children, they are not, we are the ones who have the cuts and the bruises and the scars of our tales of outdoor play. Gen Z, we are. We are the survivors. I just feel, guys, I don't know. I do know. I don't know why I say I don't know. Um, but I've seen it even working in with children, with in childcare, how the younger generations would bring their children. This is just like regular childcare. And I remember one particular mother, she had the cutest little boy. He was so adorable. And she would dress him like a cute little man, a little trousers and a sweater vest and a little shirt. But I would like, something you would see them maybe go to church or something in. But she would bring him to the daycare like that. He had all kind of changes of clothes. And she was like, "Oh, make sure he doesn't get dirty. Make sure," and we made sure, because I remember one time she flipped the heck out on a caregiver because he got dirty, and I was like, my gosh, why do we make little children into little adults? Your childhood is for you to explore, for them to play in the play-doh and the paint, for their hands to touch Play-Doh, for their hands to touch dirt. Long as they're not going home with dirty clothes on. I understand that, but you could tell that this child was kept from playing, and they didn't want to touch anything, not shaving cream playtime, not water playtime. They didn't want to touch their tactile senses weren't developed as far as a child playing. Most children want to put their hands in things and feel. That's developing their tactile, their fine motor sensory. And parents would stifle their children with not wanting them to get in certain things that we 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 promoted in early childhood development, simply because it in the parents' eyes it was dirty. Oh, slime. No, that's dirty. Don't let him play with slime if you're going to have it this week. Don't let him play with shaving cream. Don't let him play with this and that. And I'm like, poor baby. Poor child. In my mind, I never said it out loud because we couldn't, but you don't want, well, I would have to say she didn't want her child to experience life. And that is what we are here to do. Experience this experience. You're a millennium? Oh, okay. Well, millennials are cool too. Y'all not too bad. Millenniums are cool too. Um, but yeah, I don't know if the younger will they be able to survive if the grid went all the way down. If there's nobody coming to save you, there's nobody coming to save you. I remember hearing those words. I don't know if I remember hearing those words from this guy one time. I think it was like after my divorce, and um, you know, people have to go through transitions in life. Life is nothing but a big transition. Transition after transition after transition. You never settle down, even though you think you are. It's always a transition, always something. And I I don't know if I had a look in my eyes or something, but I remember him saying, "No one's coming to save you." And I was like, "Excuse me?" No one's coming to save you. Because you see, I was somewhat handicapped um, when I was married. Some things were good, and I don't go into much about my past, but some things made me handicapped as far as survival in this world. And it was so crazy because before I was married, I lived on my own and had my own apartment, everything. But when I got married, those things were stripped away from me. And I think it was done intentionally, right? And so after coming out of 18 years, well, basically 20, because we dated for 2 years um, of a relationship, I literally felt handicapped. Like, hello, is some help? Where is my help at? And I remember that this guy said, nobody's coming to save you. Basically, snap out of it, get it together, and keep moving on. Is basically what he was saying. Um, and I think that is going to be this new generation. But will they be able to snap out of the gaming systems and the technology? Will they be able to survive whatever comes their way? Gen X, yeah, because they've been outside. They've built forts and they've gone into dugouts and caves and they've explored. They've got down in the dirt. But this new generation, I worry about. So this was just a update on the pole shift. I might let you guys hear about Mount St. Yellowstone. Yellowstone. Uh, she's acting up, and that's concerning. That's concerning. Okay, well, I am out, and much, much love.